Okay, so today Anand from Bangkok
Yes.
is visiting me in Silicon Valley. So since he fly around the world to Silicon Valley to ask me about this Wing Chun history stuff, where I wrote in those my book and so forth. So today let's go to get into all the details. Okay. So I don't have to repeat again, and Anand got it, and everybody got it around the world. So we want to settle Wing Chun technological history once for all today. Now let's begin. Let's go back to the year is around 1550. So that time is Ming Dynasty. So the Japanese pirate, okay, of course, it's mixed with the Chinese in the southern China, create a problem for the Chinese, for the Ming Emperor, and the Ming army cannot handle it. So what happened? The Ming Emperor asked Songshan Shaolin Temple to get their martial monk to help out on this southern China invasions or trouble from the Japanese pirate. Okay, this is around 1550. Okay, now at that time, Songshan Shaolin sent their martial monk to southern China to help it. And one of that particular monk, his name is iYikKam, is in record. Okay, you can check it from Songshan. Okay, and it's in the Chinese history. So iYikKam, or the moon emptiness, this martial monk, went to the place where today is known as Shanghai area to fought the Japanese pirate, 30 of them. They win, but later all of them die because they get ambushed by the Japanese pirate, take hostage of the people, and pretend to be the Ming army. The story say like that. So all those monks, iYikKam and the team, all died. Okay? It's in the Chinese history. Now, at the same time, there are many monks sent by the Shaolin of Songshan to go to the southern China, the Zhejiang area, the Fujian area. Okay? And this monk, they actually was injured, okay, and they reside in the southern China instead of go back to the Songshan. Okay. So, do we have any evidence for that? Yes. So this is what happened. I want to show you. Okay, so that is a monk in Southeast Asia. Okay, a monk in Southeast Asia. Actually, he's my Sigong, who is a Shaolin martial monk, and his name is recorded in Songshan. He's authentic monk, martial monk. He is a Venerable Circle Chan. Okay. So he actually he's a monk, authentic Chinese Buddhism monk, Zen. He bring the Buddhism and the Chinese, the Shaolin martial art to Southeast Asia, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia. My Sifu, Venerable Fa Chan, is his student. Okay, you can read that in the record. So I study with Venerable Fa Chan in Indonesia. Now, Gaochan, my Xigong, have one set. It's called the plum flower set. That set is originate from the monk who at 1550s era who fought the Japanese and get injured and so forth, and they reside in the southern China. And that set, even though it go through evolution, today it still exists. Okay, in fact, my Xigong passed it down, and now you can see it in Singapore. This is called Singapore Southern Shaolin Single Plum Flower Fish Demonstration. Okay, it's in YouTube. Okay, so today you can see that set. That is the type of a Shaolin set at the 1560s time or 1550s time. Okay, so from Songshan we know about iYikKam, we know about this single plum blossom fish sets from that era. Okay, and this is all legit recorded, can be found or tracked with the Songshan Shaolin. That's how it get to the southern China, where later it evolved into the southern Shaolin. Okay, now remember the iYikKam or the moon emptiness monk after his passing and so forth. A person come into a picture. That is General Qi. Okay, so General Qi was asked by the Emperor of Ming, come in to deal with this pirate thing. And at 1560 he wrote this book, which is Chinese martial art is based on it big time. And in this book, okay, it actually listed the martial art of that time. It listed on this chapter 14. Okay, and within there is long fist, there's short strike, and there are even the art is going down to the ground. Okay, all those art, and General Qi said, he said that at that time, he said that a better practice is the practice that to merge all these different art so that one know different type of momentum. In today's language, it's like the MMA. You have all in different different momentum in the different regions of fighting. Okay, and at the end of this writing, it also said this. It said that now I already draw the momentum for you guys, and I already wrote down the key point, the term quit. 绝 in Mandarin, or quit, quit is the key point. Okay, it's in Qi book 1560. He said, now I already draw the momentum, explain the point, the key point. You should learn this, and you should experiment with it. You should test it out, and you should have a mental attitude of you testing the art. If you win, there's no big deal. If you lose, there's no big deal. Okay? The key is to find out what works, what doesn't work. If it doesn't work, why it doesn't work. If you lose, why do you lose? If you win, why do you win? If you are not experienced, of course you're going to be afraid of your opponent. If you are good at it, experienced, then you have no fear on your opponent. You can play. Okay? So you can see at that time, this is attitude. This is a kind of technology. It's nothing to do with religions. Okay? Now, this is the picture at that time. They have drawn the picture, the momentum, and then they wrote down the instruction. So now you can see that. Okay? So what it look like? Look like one sao? Okay, this is the thing, right? So this is, okay, the Qi Qi Guang. Everybody can go and get the book and read it. Okay, now. So Qi Qi Guang have this thing. He organized the whole thing and so forth on the I'll give you later on this on the thing, right? So he organized all this thing. Now, so what happened? When you get this, when after you have this thing, the monk, remember the monk? The monk in who fought the Japanese pirate and get injury and did not go back to Songshan anymore, who stay in the southern China. They evolved it, okay? And at 1600 something, around 1660, Ming Dynasty lost to the Qing guy. So the Ming Dynasty get kicked out. So what happened is, the Ming military at that time, with the Zheng Chenggong, who fled Taiwan, who started this anti-Qing, the Heaven and Earth Society. Okay. Of course, they are having the Qi Qi Guang technology, because this is a military technology. And you have now all this, what do you call that, the anti-Qing and everything. They actually group up with the monk who reside in the southern China, who didn't go back to the Songshan after the fought the Japanese. So they evolved. In this book, it tells you how at the fall of the Ming Dynasty, the anti-Qing, get into the Shaolin, quote unquote, the Shaolin temple, okay, and they evolved that way, okay. So at that time, you need to understand one thing. The guy who fought the Japanese pirate and end up, because they are injured and so forth, and reside in the southern China, they call themselves Shaolin too, because they originate from Shaolin, Songshan Shaolin Temple, right? Okay, so here we know how it merged together, and the anti-Qing and who is in anti-Qing and those type of things. And so you can see there's one group who go to Taiwan and become the Heaven, the Tiandi Hui, the Heaven and Earth Society, which is anti-Qing, and then or the Hong Society, the group, and then there are different groups at that time. Here it actually explains you. Now, we know it evolved that way. And at 1784, this is the document of the Shaolin Short Strike book. Okay, now, so this is what happened. Remember, you have a short strike here in the Qi Qi Guang book. Right now, that technology have get into Shaolin. Okay, have get into the Shaolin already, and it evolved with the Shaolin. Okay, it evolved with the Shaolin. Now, this is here. Okay, it evolved with the Shaolin. So let me show you one thing. This is Shaolin Short Strike. Okay, it states clearly here, Shaolin Short Strike. So right now, the short strike art listed in the Qi Qi Guang have evolved with get into the Shaolin when the Shaolin Temple, you know, at the end of the Ming Dynasty, the anti-Qing, everything, you know, it evolved that. So 1784, the record is that it already evolved into Shaolin, the short strike, and the details of this book on short strike right now is further explained here. Okay. Now, this book is 1784, so we know how is a Shaolin short strike in 1784 is look like in the very clear descriptions, and we know how the thing is linked to the Qi Ji Guang. Okay. Now this is the issue. We call ourselves the Wing Chun is a variations of the southern China sticking body short strike. Okay. Now, so we know the Shaolin short strike very clearly from here. Now at 1840, we got the creed, the writing of the iYikKam Xiu Lim Tao from the Red Book. Okay. So the iYikKam Xiu Lim Tao Red Book track into three sources. The first thing is, if you look at the creed, for example, like this Y pre 5, okay, here Y pre 5, you can get it from my books. It said that every stretch, every contract that can be explained with this book. Stretch and contract is referred as how you're handling your body. Over here, he said hand issue from heart. Hand issue from heart. That again can track into this book. It have the definitions. Define what it is. Okay? And of course, it defines the short strike momentum. Okay? Because in fighting, as in this Qi Ji Guang book, it's all about momentum. Okay? And one thing we can do, we can say, we can make think clear too. In this book, when they list all the martial art at that time, there is no Tai Chi. Actually, by evidence today, the so-called Tai Chi today is taken this Qi Ji Guang book and evolved further. And that belongs to the long fist part. Okay, that's the Tai Chi part. So Wing Chun go in this short strike part. And that's why we have this. And then we get to 1840 with the Xiu Lim Tao, our Xiu Lim Tao set. And we know all this like hand issue from heart, all this thing is from, and the momentum and so forth is from this Shaolin short strike book. And also, okay, like this in the iYikKam Xiu Lim Tao Y7. Anybody who have my book Y7, it traced to Mei 12 Zhuang. This book. The Sun Punch today at the it is actually an evolution according to that to the Mei 12 Zhuang, okay, to these techniques. Let me show you. Okay, if you read this Y7, okay, there is something called under the sleeve. Under the sleeve. In here is called 袖底. that link to Mei Zhuang, and that link to the techniques in Mei. Okay? So we know the Sun Punch of Wing Chun is based on the Mei stuff. Okay? Versus, of course, this with the Qi and all this thing, but we want to make it solid here. Okay? And if you look at it very clearly, Y18, where he says single Zhao Yang, Y18 is a single Zhao Yang. You link it to the Wing Chun, White Crane Wing Chun of Fujian. So that is in the Xiu Lim Tao sets. Okay, and you can recognize what it is. So over here, 18, it said erect palm, bend elbow, single Zhao Yang. Erect palm, bend elbow, single Zhao Yang. This is the Wing Chun book. This is called the single Zhao Yang. Single limb Zhao Yang. You see that? See that? Can you recognize that techniques? Right?
And Wu.
No, it's not Wu. Remember the last of your
hand.
No, this hand.
Yeah.
Remember this hand?
Yeah.
In the Xiu Lim Tao set, didn't you have this hand?
Right.
Right? That is the single Zhao Yang. That is from the White Crane. So 1784, we know exactly what the short strike, Shaolin short strike about. We know how this evolved. 1840, we know in order to crack the code of the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao when they teach in the Red Book, is you need this book, you need the Fujian Shaolin, you need the Mei Zhuang book to crack it, to understand clearly what it is. So the Zhao Yang is, remember when you do Xiu Lim Tao set, you're always doing this, right? You have this one, right? Almost at the end, right? Remember? Right?
Yep.
Right? That is single Zhao Yang. Okay, we want to do it different variations after 100 years or whatever different, but we can know what it is, how it tracks into the Fujian White Crane. Okay, now, so after the 1840, you go read the interview of Grandmaster Yip Man, 1972. He talked about the Lai Lao Hui Song. The Lao is receiving. It tracked to this book, the Shaolin Short Strike 1784 book. The whole case is clear now. So another way we can see is this. If you have this Song San from 1550 sometime, you have this Qi Ji Guang 1560, and then you get into this the anti-Qing, the fighting the Qing and the Ming. And then it evolved, it get to 1784, it become a Shaolin short strike. And then it get to 1840, right away you see the Mei, the White Crane. The Shaolin short strike of 1784, they merge and they become in the Xiu Lim Tao of the 1840 in the Red Book. And then you track down to Grandmaster Yip Man's 1972 interview. You can see the signature of this guy, 1780. And today, everywhere everybody say, oh, Wing Chun is a Shaolin, Kung Fu is a short strike. That's what it is. It's an evolution. It's not, there's no such somebody who go into the cave and then to invent something. It is an evolution. And now we can see all this thing from 1500, how from Songsan it get into this southern Shaolin, why, how, what is getting to that, how and what is and why it merged with the Qi Guang, and then it going down forward, and how it become snake and crane evolve with this short strike and become a shooting town. Wing Chun. That's how it is. That's as clear as it is. So many technical issues today in Wing Chun can see here. So it took me 40 years to get to this. The issue right now, why people don't see this far, is people get into this history, not really history, but this legend story stuff. Years ago, when I talk about this Zhen Chen Gong stuff, people go right away, go down, talk about this Southern Shaolin and everything, make up their own story or their speculation. When I talk about Red Bolt, anti-Qing, then they go make up the thing. Okay? And based on the legend of this guy and that guy, all this story. But today, like in Silicon Valley here, we can track from the martial monk from the Songsan Shaolin, the moon, emptiness, iYikKam, Qi Guang, the downfall of the Ming Dynasty, where you get into this triad and everything, or anti-Qing. 1784, the details. 1840, and from 1840 we confirm these three art become Wing Chun. And so Ermei and white crane techniques is used to further evolve what happened here. Namely, today we know the white crane, center line theory, those kind of stuff, and the hand techniques like this Zhao Yang is now import or fused into the Shaolin short strike. The Ermei, the handling of the joints and everything, is fusing into this art, the Shaolin short strike art, to make the Wing Chun today. At least to make the Wing Chun of 1840. And after that, you can see different lineages and everything is spread out, and it further evolved into, it can be into something else. Is it still a short strike according to this? There's a big question. Okay? But if we want to track the technological history by facts, it is here. And if you want to read about the anti-Qing all thing, it's all in this documented. So that is how the history of Wing Chun is about. It's not somebody or some magic stuff invented before. It is an evolution. And because we know this today, so why do I want to make this? Okay, I make my Hendrik lineage. I care less about that. It is like in the Silicon Valley. If we talk about some kind of technology, we need to know how the technology evolved in order to proceed further. And with this, we know how the technology evolved. Okay? It's like you talk about Windows 10. You know how Windows 1, Windows 75, Windows 2000, Windows 7, how this thing evolved. And then you can evolve to something else and make it better. So in the ancient, there is no such thing as you have this monk or you have this Taoist who know everything, who have internal art. If that thing happened, iYikKam, the moon emptiness, do not have to die fighting the Japanese pirate. General Guang do not have to go reorganize everything and set up everything for Chinese martial art. So all this story, we don't want to make wrong with it about this Mui, Jisim, all the story. We don't want to make wrong with it because they have their purpose. At that time, yes, General Zheng Chenggong, who fled to Taiwan, create a lot of stories. And as a technology, I care less about that. What I care is I want the technology. It's because only if I have the technology, we know what it is. If we know Windows 10, we know how it is, we know how to improve it. We know how to make best use of it. If we do not get to that, then we actually don't know anything. But, you know, everybody gossip. My interpretation, your interpretations, my story, your story, my lineage, your lineage. But it got nothing to do with technology. Nobody clear-cut say what is this technology is about. So that's the reason why I want to clear this thing up. If you don't clear this thing up, you don't have future. Like for example, people sometimes they say, Tai Chi is more advanced than Wing Chun. By definitions. Sorry. At this time, we know where Tai Chi is not even created yet. And it evolved in a different place, and we have a very clear details here. Okay? And you don't need all this mind power, chi power from Tai Chi. You just go read this. You read this white crane stuff, this Mei Zhuang. You know what happened. However, Mei Zhuang and white crane is not Wing Chun. Why? Because Wing Chun is based on the Shaolin short strike technology. Okay, just like this, get it clear. So when we talk Wing Chun, we talk about a Shaolin short strike art, which can be tracked into a General Guang, even up to Song San, how the whole thing evolved. And it fills in the Mei art and the white crane art to make the Shaolin. So the Wing Chun is fought as a short strike art. Now you look into the white crane. Are they fought like their fighting style or their momentum is like the shooting like the Wing Chun? Is Mei like Wing Chun? No. So you cannot say, oh yeah, you know, because I want internal Wing Chun, I go study Tai Chi, import something from Tai Chi. Oh, because I know this Mei Grandmaster, I know older Wing Chun. Or because I know this white crane Grandmaster, I know Wing Chun. No, you don't. Sorry. All this technology is here. Like in today's words, Windows 10 is Windows 10. We have all this documentary here. Okay? It is this clear. So today I want to share with Anand because he come in and then many people ask me. So make it clear. When I say sticking body, short strike, all this is based on everything is traceable. You want to trace out the Song San, as well as show, trace out the Song San. You want to see how the Song San Shaolin art at the time of the 1500, where they begin in Southern Shaolin, it looks more like this. Okay, the art which is Grandmaster Seiko Chan bring to South Asia. Okay, so that's how it is. So this is for you today.